is Rebecca Craver. I am
right.
Director of Congregational Development for the Moravian Church in the Southern Province. And I am so grateful to have three people from Margate Congregation here with me to share a little bit about their anniversary celebration and becoming a chartered congregation. And so I'm just so glad to have you. And I'm just going to ask Jacquie to introduce yourself. And then you can pick one of them to introduce themselves, and we'll kind of go around so people can know who you are and maybe the things you do around Margate.
Okay, well, I'm Jacquie Buckley, and I am a member of the steering committee, or I guess now joint board, and I'm also the choir director. So I'll move on to Tracey.
Good afternoon. I am Tracey Anne Anthony. I am also a member of the steering committee and also a member of the Women's Fellowship, and then I help out wherever I'm needed.
And I'm Justin Peart. I'm a member of the joint board. I didn't get that right, not steering committee anymore. I'm also involved with the young people as one of the leaders. I'm also a member of the Men's Fellowship and the
choir.
I'm also a member of the Men's Fellowship and the choir, right? That's the one, the choir, yes. Yeah, also a member of the choir.
That's great. Well, thank you so much for your leadership. I'm sure that has been a big job that y'all have kind of undertaken as a congregation. Can you tell me a little bit about kind of the history of Margate and where you've come from?
Margate began in May of 2004 when a number of Moravians from various countries, mainly from the Caribbean countries, who resided in Broward County, got together for a meeting. I know Tracey Anne was a part of that initial meeting. And they basically formed the group, they got together the people who they could bring together for our very first service. And that first service was held on the 30th of May, 2004. A lot of the members also had connections at Prince of Peace Moravian down in Miami. It basically was an impetus for them to find somewhere to worship closer to our home in Broward County. Since that time, we've rented a number of places. We've had to move around a little bit because, for one reason or another. But I think the moving around although it brought a lot of challenges, it also brought a lot of blessings. I think together as a group, we have grown to be a bond and to be a family, to be a community to each other and to Broward County in general. There were times when we, would go out and feed people on the beach, feed the homeless. We became known as the little church with the good Caribbean food. And we had other little community outreach. But I think in addition to the outreach, we also had a bond within the group, within ourselves. When we first started, we were meeting at 3 p.m. And as a result of that, each week, somebody else would bring food to the table. So whether it was just a light snack or whatever it was, so that helped to build that fellowship that we had after service. And from there, we've just grown, not necessarily in numbers, because we're really, I think the highest we ever got to was about maybe 50 or so in attendance prior to COVID. Then COVID hit. And that took us down a little bit. The pastor who started, that we had at that time, was the Reverend Dr. Joseph Emmanuel Nicholas, get his name right. And we also had Reverend Cedric Palmer, who has now passed on. Then through the years, we've had the opportunity to have 4 retired pastors with us. We've had the Reverend Percival Gordon, Reverend Frank Barker. We've also had Reverend Errol Gentles and Reverend George Bedford throughout the years. And they have played an integral part in, keeping us together and in what we know, where we are now today.
Oh, that's great. Thank you so much for sharing a little bit about where you've come from and where the community has been. Now, I know you had a celebration on Memorial Day weekend just a few weekends ago. I would love to hear a little bit about what happened, what did you plan, and how did it go?
Tracey,
correct. Rebecca, we did have our anniversary and our Charter Sunday. Are you hearing me? Are you hearing me now?
Yeah.
Are you hearing me?
Yes, we're hearing you. We're hearing you. Yes.
All right. So yes, we did have a grand celebration of our Charter Sunday and our 19th anniversary, and it was absolutely awesome. We had in attendance approximately 200 persons. And as well, Jackie mentioned that our membership is about 50. So we were just elated to have guests in the amount of about 100, 150 persons from South Florida, or from our brothers and sisters in South Florida, as well as guests from North Carolina, the PEC. A lot of the members were in attendance. And so it was just a really awesome time of worship, and I was trying to, I was just reminiscing on it last Sunday, and I was saying which part of it was my most favorite part, and I couldn't pick any particular one because the entire experience was just really, really awesome. The singing was heavenly. From the choir singing to just the congregational singing, it was awesome. The company that we had, with our various guests coming from different places, it was truly a wonderful fellowship. And then the food, both spiritual food from Bishop Neil, was just on time. It was what we needed for the occasion. He gave us, the appropriate reminders of why we existed and why we should continue to exist. And then the physical food was just pleasure to the palate. So all in all, it was just a wonderful experience. It really was.
Yes, I've heard so many good things about it from Neil and Christy coming back to the office talking about what a great time it was. So it's wonderful to hear your retelling of it, and so glad that so many were able to celebrate with you, and so many were praying for you and celebrating from afar as well. So we're really grateful for that celebration to go off in such a way.
Yeah.
So what are you hoping for?
Yes.
Congregation?
We were very thankful for the prayers.
Yeah, always. We're all in this together, which is what is always hopeful, that we're not alone. So I'm really grateful.
True.
As you look towards the future for Margate, what are some of the hopes or the things that you're looking towards as you become now a chartered congregation? What do you hope to explore next in your ministry?
Well, Sister Rebecca, as Sister Jackie said, we have moved around quite a bit. Right now we're worshiping at a hotel, a suite in a hotel in Lauderhill. And one of the things that we'd like to do, of course, is to grow and get to the point where we're able to have our own place so that we can, do the many activities, have different activities for the auxiliaries and, get more people involved instead of just spending a few hours each Sunday at the hotel. So definitely growth. Broward County has 2 million people. And my guess is that, we have maybe a few thousand Moravians or people who are somehow connected to Moravians out of that 2 million. And I think there's a lot of potential. We just have to find a way to strategize, and, we continue praying and working. And we hope we can get to the point where we have enough of a critical mass so that we can, do more ministry. Some of the ministries that we have done before were mentioned, and we'd love to expand on that in terms of catering holistically to the needs of our members in the Broward area.
It sounds like a lot of really good goals and good hopes for what you'll be able to do. It's certainly exciting to start a new chapter like this, and helpful to have such wonderful foundational work that was done as the fellowship grew over those last 19 years. So I'll be excited to hear how God is at work amongst you, and certainly how we can continue to be in prayer and partnership with you as you discover the ways that God is calling you into the community to serve. So that's really wonderful. I am really grateful for your time to share just a little bit about the story. And we will have a little bit of information that people can look at about Margate up on the website, so they can watch our chat here, but then learn a little bit about it, and maybe a link to some of your information. So we'll be glad to share that, and there'll be other opportunities for people to know what you're doing and how they can connect with you in the future. So I just am so grateful for your time and for your leadership at Margate, and can't wait to hear what happens next in the story.
Thank you. And of course, we have our website, margatemoravian.org. We're on Facebook, we're on YouTube, we're on Instagram, we're on Twitter. So, we're trying to reach out to many people as possible using the social media tools that are available.
Great. Well, we will certainly share those as well with all the information we put up, so people can like and share and learn about what's going on as it happens there.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Thanks so much.
Thank you. We appreciate it.